Hello and namaste everyone. Today's video is about attentional processes. It's a very important topic in psychology. Please stay till the end of the video because I'll be discussing previous year's questions for 12th standard NIOS students. So let's get started. So you already are familiar with attention because we discussed in the earlier chapters that when we are bombarded with many stimuli at the same time, only the ones which we give attention to will be sent to the brain for processing, and that's how we can make sense out of those stimuli and gain knowledge from our surrounding environment. So let's learn more about attention in particular. What is attention? Are there different types of attention? Let's go deeper. So this topic is about understanding how we select a few stimuli from the many stimuli that bombard us, how we can focus our attention and sustain our attention in a world which is filled with a lot of different kinds of stimuli. So firstly, what is attention? So attention, according to the definition, is the process through which certain stimuli are selected from a group of others. So, like for example, you enter a classroom, there are so many things around you, right? The walls, the doors, the your co-students, their bags, books, and so on. But you focus your attention in on one or two things at a time. And attention also, apart from the main thing about attention being selection, it also involves alertness, concentration, and search. These three involve mental effort allocation. Alertness is something that makes you ready. It's an individual's readiness to deal with stimuli that appear before him. For example, participants in a race, you can see how they stand with so much attention, alertness at the start line, waiting for the whistle to blow so that they can start running. So that is alertness. Concentration refers to focusing of awareness on certain specific objects while excluding others for now or for the moment. Like, for example, I am taking this session and you want to focus on what I am talking. So, your concentration is focused on my lecture and not the other sounds or the people moving around you and so on. What is search? Search is an observer looks for some specified subset of objects among a set of objects. Like you go to pick your child from school, your sibling from school, and among all the other hundreds of students coming out of the school, you search for your brother or sister to pick her up. So, other than selection, attention involves all these alertness, concentration, and search. Now, there are different types of attention. According to the process oriented view, uh, attention is divided into selective attention and sustained attention. So, what are these? Selective attention is selecting limited stimuli from the many stimuli that bombard us at the same time. But our perceptual system has very limited capacity. It can take in only a few stimuli at a time. So we choose what to process based on focusing our attention on that particular stimuli. And how do we choose it? There are some internal and external factors which influence the selection of stimuli, one or two stimuli or a particular stimulus from a group of stimuli that are around us. And sustained attention is maintaining focus, like the name suggests. on an object or task for long periods of time. It's also called vigilance, and it's very important for air traffic controllers and radar operators. We will learn about this in detail later. Now, divided attention is when we multitask. We attend to multiple things at the same time. And if I have to give you an example, while we are driving, the person who has a lot of practice, it becomes automatic, almost automatic. So the person while driving, he or she can talk to whoever's in the car along with them, or talking on the phone, or when we go for a walk with someone, we are walking and talking to them at the same time. So this is possible only with practice, with a lot of practice. And we see that um, most of the effort, mental effort allocation is given to driving or when you're walking. So that's about types of attention. Like I said, a lot of factors influence the way we select stimuli among the different stimuli which are around us. So the movement of objects, intensity, the novelty, size, color contrast, and repetition, and there are a few more which we will be discussing in detail in class. So these are external factors which attract our attention towards a particular stimulus or stimuli. So it is said that moving objects attract attention more than stationary objects. For example, flickering lights on emergency vehicles like ambulance. Now, the intensity also affects the way we um, attend to certain stimuli. Bright lights, loud sounds, strong smells will capture our attention more than the ones with lesser intensity or least intensity. Then comes novelty. So anything that is new, any object that is unique, these new features draw our attention, and advertisers exploit this most of the time. Then the size of the object, some object which is extremely large or some which is very small, like for example, the miniature artwork, these attract our attention. And then comes color and contrast. Colorful objects with high contrast backgrounds will attract attention. Repetition, anything that you keep seeing repeatedly, like sirens or advertising jingles, when the same sound keeps repeating or the same visual is repeating, these demand our focus. There are certain internal factors also which affect selective attention. These are divided into two basic categories: motivational factors and cognitive factors. What are motivational factors? They relate to our biological and social needs. So when we are hungry, even a very faint smell of food, we are attracted to, or we our attention is diverted to even faint food smell, which we wouldn't have noticed otherwise if we were not so hungry. And social needs, you are in an exam hall, and students taking the exam will focus on what the teacher instructs before you start the exam, right? You are not distracted at that time. You focus on what the teacher is instructing you. Cognitive factors include interest, attitude, preparatory set. These determine what we attend to. What is preparatory set? We readily notice objects which we find interesting or something that is favorable to us. Now, internal factors also depend on our needs, interests, and emotions, not only on the stimulus. It also depends on the all these, like I just said. Theories of selective attention. There are three theories which we will be discussing in detail in class. Now, sustained attention and vigilance, which I told you about earlier. So, what is sustained attention? To maintain our focus on a task or an object for a long period of time. Air traffic controllers and radar operators, their attention is an example for sustained attention because they have to constantly monitor signals which are very unpredictable, and if they miss it, it could be very fatal. Factors affecting sustained attention are sensory modality, stimulus clarity, temporal certainty, and spatial certainty. All these affect the way we attend to stimuli. We will be discussing more about these in class. Then this chapter is also about span of attention, for how much information we can take in at a single exposure, within a single exposure. That is our attention span. And we will also be discussing about implications of attention like ADHD, divided attention, and all these in detail in class. So this is about the topic attentional processes. Now we will go to the PYQs for NIOS 12th standard. So in October 2024, there was a question for 3 marks. Meghanshi, an air traffic controller, has to constantly watch and monitor signals on screen. Explain this type of attention. So it's always good if you can write in bullet points so that you can make it crisp and easier for the evaluator. Just give a brief introduction. Attention can be understood in different ways, and there are two types of attention. So what is selective attention? It's also called vigilance, and then explain air traffic controllers and radar operators for focus on this kind of attention, which is called sustained attention or vigilance. This was for 3 marks. So this is about attentional processes. The next part of the chapter is perceptual processes, which I will be discussing in the next video. Until then, thank you so much.